Hey guys, it's Madison. Thanks for joining me in this faithful home. David reminded me that I haven't done a cleaning video here on this channel in quite a while, and I figured today was the perfect day. We've got a lot going on in this room. So catch you guys up if you're new. David and I just bought a house. We are living with my parents for a couple months in this house because I bought it from them. And we are pregnant. We're almost halfway. And we didn't want to kick my parents out of the master. So we are staying in the guest room, which is the room I'm standing in right now, until their house is finished being built and then they move out. So we got a lot of crap in here. Let me just crap. Bathroom stuff that I have yet to put in the guest bathroom, for whatever reason. A bed unmade with all my tech gear, and then, let's see, more crap over there. Crap. Decaf chai with oat milk that I made. And that is really good. And we have, I think, 2 loads of laundry. One's in the washer, one's in the dryer right now. So got a lot of work to do. I have a fun story time for you guys. So while I'm cleaning, and then probably when I sit down and do the laundry, I'll do that story time. It's pretty great. It is how I hid being pregnant from my friends before I wanted to tell them that I was pregnant, and how I got away with not drinking alcohol at a dinner event. So stay tuned for that, and let's tackle this mess. I thought it would be fun to do a little story time for you guys. I am 17, almost 18 weeks pregnant now. And when I was very, very, very early pregnant, like 4 or 5 weeks pregnant, my church, the ladies of our church, went to P.F. Chang's to celebrate Amy's birthday. Amy is one of the girls at church. And so we all had plans to go to P.F. Chang's. And at the time we had, I think there was 8 of us that were planning on going together. And we had 2 of them at the time were pregnant. They both have since had their babies and they are beautiful. But anyway, so at the time there was gonna be 8 of us and 2 were pregnant, so they wouldn't drink. But like when the ladies go out, or like when the guys go out, like if we're not in like actual church setting, but just like having dinner or hanging out, we enjoy drinks because we're adults. Not expected in a bad way, but like expected that like we're gonna hang out, and if you're not pregnant, you're gonna have a drink because pretty much all of us drink. And so I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? They don't know I'm pregnant yet. I'm too early for me to want to tell them that I'm pregnant. I don't want to tell them while I'm at P.F. Chang's, of all places. It's not the right sock. So I was like, okay, how am I gonna get away with this? Like convince them that everything is normal, play it cool, don't like be overly suspicious, you know what I mean? Like when you think you're all like freaking out and everybody knows, but really nobody has no idea. So I'm running late to P.F. Chang's because I was working out. We were planning on meeting at 6:30 up in the neighboring city, but I work out till 6:30. And so I was like, okay, maybe this will like buy me some like time or figure out what I'm gonna do. And so I get to P.F. Chang's late. I'm the last girl there. Like everybody else is already seated. And so then I'm like, oh, this is great. I'll just walk in, casual, no big deal. So the waitress comes over like literally as I sit down. And she said, oh, all of your friends have already put in their drink orders. Do you know what you're having? Like, yeah. Water. Obviously I couldn't say that. They'd be like, well, what the heck, why aren't you having drinks? So I was like, oh, you know, I'm not sure what I want yet. I'm gonna need a minute to look at the menu. Let's be honest, my go-to drink is a Moscow Mule. So it was pretty easy what I was gonna get or not get. But I had to buy myself some time. And so she was like, okay, yeah, take your time. Like, I'll be back. So she walks away and I'm like, oh, this is my moment, guys. Like, it's now or never. It's go time. So I get up and I'm like, oh, do you guys know where the bathroom's at? And they're like, yeah, it's over that way. Conveniently enough, right where my waitress was. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So I go over to the waitress. She was standing kind of like towards the bar too, like that area, putting in their drink orders or like waiting for their drink orders. And so I said, hey, like my friends don't know I'm pregnant, but I always get Moscow Mules. Can you just put ginger beer in a mule cup and bring it to me and make it look like it's a Moscow Mule? And my waitress like turns and looks at the bartender like, can we do that? And he's like, yeah, I got you, don't worry. It's like, cool, you're the bomb. So I go to pee because, let's be honest, first trimester, I like actually did have to pee. And I come back to the table and I sit down. And at that point, we're already in the middle of conversation. So they don't even realize that I hadn't put in a drink order. Like it was just, you know, normal, go about your business, talk about your day, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, now I'm in my second trimester and I'm out of breath folding laundry. It's great. Can't tell you a story and fold laundry at the same time. So anyways, so the waitress comes back to our table and has like everybody's drinks, and they all like got these fun drinks, and two of the other girls had also got the Moscow Mule that was on the menu, like me, sort of like me. And so my waitress sets down a mule cup, looks at me and winks. And I was like, girl, you're my MVP right now. Like, I'm tipping you hardcore. So then she hands everybody else their drinks and like takes our food order, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, dude, I'm in the clear. Nobody has suspected a thing. This is great. And so at this point, I'm like super confident in myself. Like, okay, I've fooled them. Easy sailing from here. Sip it slow so that it looks like I'm just nursing one so that I don't have to order a second one, because that was going to be too complicated. It was already freaking out enough that I did that, and it worked. And so some of them got second drinks, some of them didn't. And I'm like, I don't know, halfway through the night, one of the girls, Julie, she was like, man, this Moscow Mule is so good, but it's so different. Like, it's different than anything I've ever had before. Like, what is so special about it? And then the other girl, I think it was Amy, also had one. She was like, I know, right? That's totally different. Like, there's something in it that they put that was like, apparently it was the greatest Moscow Mule they've ever had. And I was like, they're like, looked at me like, what do you think? I'm like, yeah, dude, no clue. What's different? No clue. I had no clue, because let's be honest, I had ginger beer. And so I was like, I can't put that, you know, to my tongue. What is different? I don't know, Julie. I'm not drinking alcohol right now. I can't tell you what it is. So I was like, ooh, okay, dodge that one. Then where I thought Julie had gotten me, but she didn't, is at the end of the night, we were doing like, we were going to pay, and we all got our bills, and you could like use your phone to pay, but Julie's phone wasn't working because it was like a potato. And so she was like, oh, can I use someone else's phone that I already paid? And I had like my midwife's like website that I was looking up of like who I was wanting to use at the time, like pulled up on my Safari, didn't even think about it, handed her my phone, and like that was the first thing she saw. Like, I guess she overlooked it, or it didn't faze her. I don't know what, but I thought she knew for sure. Like, I was convinced that Julie was gonna like pull me aside afterwards and be like, girl, I saw something that I'm curious about. She didn't. And I was like, woohoo, dodge that bullet. So basically, I think I was like, I don't know, maybe 5 weeks pregnant at the time, for like not far along at all. So fast forward to being, let's see, like 11 or 12 weeks along, and this is how they all find out about it. So we're at Victoria. She was one of the girls there that was pregnant. We were at her baby shower at Julie's house, and we were all talking afterwards about like life and how everybody was doing, you know, normal things. And I think it was Julie had asked me how we were like in the camper, because, you know, we lived in an RV at the time, and how that was going, and if we were going to stay there, or like what our plans were for it. And I couldn't lie to her, because we were already planning on buying this house, like the paperwork is set and everything. And so I was like, actually, and they like all looked at me like, what? I was like, so I'm pregnant. And then like, woo, excitement and everything. Like, I was not expecting to tell them at that point. We were still kind of wanting to wait a little bit longer before we told church, or like most people. There were a few people at church that knew, like our pastor, and then Victoria actually knew, because I saw her at the doctor's office when I went to go get an ultrasound. So she knew, but nobody else really did. And so I was like, yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. So guys, remember that one time we went to celebrate Amy's birthday? And they're like, yeah. I was like, hey, remember how I was drinking alcohol? They're like, yeah. I was like, I wasn't. I had ginger beer in a Moscow Mule cup, and I tricked you all. And oh man, they were busting up laughing. They're like, no way. How did you get that by us? We had no idea. And it was just so fun. Like that was such a fun night to begin with, like getting to hang out with the ladies from church, but to then be able to like pull that fast one on them, like I was pretty proud of myself for that. And then Amy, she even said like her pregnancy radar is always super high. Like she can tell when someone's pregnant. Like she usually guesses it before they announce it. She's like, man, I had no idea. You were really, really convincing. Like there were no signs of it. Like you played that really well. And I was like, thank you. My Emmy nominee goes to me for Best Actress. I was pretty proud of that. I thought that was great. Like that, I don't know. If you don't need your friends to know you're pregnant, just go tell the bartender to put ginger beer in a Moscow Mule cup. Works like a charm. And now everyone knows. So I can continue drinking my water while everyone else has their drinks. But we're actually planning on going out to dinner again because we're trying to do it like, I don't know, a couple times a year, doing like a bigger, nicer dinner for our ladies at church. And last time we had this dinner, I was working. Then I couldn't drink because I was like working and was able to like stop by really quick. And then we went to Amy's birthday dinner and I was pregnant, but they didn't know it, so I couldn't drink then. And so now we're gonna plan this and I am pregnant, and there's like 4 of us that are pregnant now at the church, which is crazy. But yeah, I don't have to sneak it this time. I can just be like, waitress, I'll take a water with ice, please, and lemon, thank you. But yeah, that's the story of how I tricked everybody at church into not thinking or suspecting I was pregnant so that I could get away with not drinking alcohol at an event where everybody would have and would have been very confused and suspicious had I not been drinking. You're welcome, ladies. I love you. All right, guys, so I'm pretty proud of the progress we made. The bedroom looks really good and clean. That makes me really, really happy. We did get 1 load of laundry folded together. The other one I think is about to be dried, but I will just do that on my own. I'm gonna wrap up today's video here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, cleaning up our space, and having a fun little chit chat while I fold some laundry. So hope you guys enjoyed this style video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of it and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button so you feel welcomed into this faithful home with me. I post videos every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern talking about being a Christian wife and expecting mama. I love DIYs and crafting and all that jazz. So make sure you are subscribed so you can join in this little section of the interwebs. And I will check back with you guys next week for another video. Bye, guys.